can talk, he can talk, he can talk, he can talk, he can talk.
I can sing.
Welcome back to Box Office Maniacs, and tonight I am going to be reviewing a movie that I was super looking forward to, and it's War for the Planet of the Apes. Now, I believe somewhere on this channel that Vince and I reviewed the first Planet of the Apes, which was, I believe, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and I loved it. I don't talk about Planet of the Apes that much. I mean, we talk about Star Wars and horror movies and things like that, but I don't really go into much talking about Planet of the Apes. And to tell you the truth, it's one of my all-time favorite science fiction movies ever. For me, it's up there with Star Wars, and it is. It's up there with one of the greatest science fiction shows of all time. And I had never saw the original until about 5 or 6 years ago, or maybe even longer than that. They showed it on MTV, the first one, and I sat down and watched it. And then I believe they had like a whole, I don't know why it was on MTV, but they showed all of them. So I watched like the first and second one, and I was like, wow, this is actually not bad. So then I bought the whole box set of all the movies, and I gotta tell you, I was so excited watching those movies because I loved them so much. Like every day I would run home, and it was like seeing Star Wars for the first time, because I only ever seen like 1 or 2 of the original series. And like a lot of people are like, oh, how many of those things are there? 7, 8, 20, 500, whatever, you know. And there was quite a lot of them. But you know what? Every single one, except for possibly the second one, was, for me, in my own opinion anyway, outstanding. And I could not wait to get home that night and watch the next one and find out what happens to the original franchise. And I just thought that was great. And I loved all of them, basically. Like I said, the only weak one I thought was the second one, because it was kind of like, okay, one of these days I'll sit down and review the whole original franchise, and, you know, I can't wait to do that. Then a few years after I had watched all the original ones, I heard they were remaking it, and I was like, oh, here we go. And of course you had the Tim Burton terrible, I thought that was horrible movie that he made. But as soon as I saw the first trailer for it, I was hooked. I was sold. I mean, what could they do differently from the original Planet of the Apes except put real apes in it? And that's what really sold me, is here are not people with rubber prosthetic makeup and stuff on. You know, they're trying to make it look like a real chimpanzee, trying to make it look like a real gorilla or orangutan or whatever. And, you know, that's what they did. And the effects in the first one were great. I mean, they're really good. And the first one and the second one I thought were masterpieces. I thought they were just masterpieces. They really were. I mean, they were as good as you can get. So now the third one has come out, and I could not wait to go see it. I just ran out to go see it. And, all right. So this is what I think of this. First of all, it's called War for the Planet of the Apes, right? So, and I'm not trying to give out any spoilers whatsoever for this, but there wasn't so much of a war in the movie, and it's kind of false advertising, because you have Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which again makes sense, and you have Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which is they're rising up to, you know, take over, and then you have War, which you think, okay, here we go, Caesar against the humans, and it's going to be all-out war. Not so much, no. What it ended up being, and it's like, I don't really want to give it away, so it's not, there's a war in the movie, but it's not so much against apes versus humans, I guess you can say. That being said, Andy Serkis is a master. He is as good as you get. I mean, he's probably one of the best, or the best actor out there right now, and it's a shame that nobody who isn't into movies realizes that it's Andy Serkis playing Caesar. I guess they just figure, oh, hey, it's CG, whatever, people can hit buttons and pop up a monkey on the screen, and there you go. That's how they make it. No, these are real people, and he's actually acting while he's playing Caesar. And so all the facial animations that he's doing, they put into the CG version of Caesar. So all that acting comes from Andy Serkis. It just isn't some guy going, you know, it's Andy Serkis actually doing Caesar, And he does another magnificent job as Caesar. He does such a great job as him. And also this time around, you still have all the other apes and chimpanzees that came from the other two films, or at least the second one, and they're in this film too. And by the third one now, you really know these characters, and you really are there, through this adventure they're going through, and want to really find out what happens. And then actually have a new monkey here, another chimpanzee, I think is what he was. His name was Badape. And oh man, what a great character. He pretty much kind of stole the whole movie. He was really funny, such a really emotional character, and I don't know the guy's name who plays that Badape, but wow, he did a great job. And Badape was just a great character, and you were really rooting him on through the whole film. A really fantastic new addition to all the other apes in this film. And you also have the human actor here, Woody Harrelson, who actually is not even really in the first half of the film. He doesn't even show up until, or a big part anyway, until mid to the end of the movie. And he plays a character called the Colonel, who basically wants to, sort of like the first or the second film, wants to kill off all the apes, wants to exterminate all the gorillas and all the monkeys and all the chimpanzees, and wants to kill everybody. And of course his reason is that he basically is afraid of losing humankind and, having all these gorillas take over and all the chimpanzees and Caesar taking over humankind. And he's basically really afraid of losing humanity. So it's like you're watching this movie, and in the second one, you're rooting for the apes. You want the apes to win. And this one, it gets almost exhausting, really, because it's just like, and it's something my wife said, it's like you want them to win, but you want the Caesar to win, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you're fighting humans again, and you just want it to be over. You just want this battle to be finished finally here. And they did introduce several things in this movie that continues onto the original franchise, and it's a lot of fun stuff too for the people who have watched the original franchise and know sort of where this movie ends up. They put stuff throughout this movie for those fans, and I love that. They did that in the second one too, and I believe they did a little bit in the first one, and that's so cool that they decided to do that for the fans. They're like, we're not forgetting you guys who have been here from the original series. So there was no real big war in this movie, and that's what kind of disappointed me. Now that I've seen it, I will probably go back and rewatch it, and now knowing what it's about, I might enjoy it a little bit more. But I came out of it a little disappointed. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It was a little disappointing just for the fact that it wasn't what I was expecting, I guess. Because there was a lot of slow parts in this movie. It did slow down quite a lot. That's not to say that it was, boring. Because the performances were so outstanding here, and you were really invested on what's going on. But it was just kind of like, it sort of dragged on a little bit. I think too long until something actually happens. But I wasn't bored with it. It was just the fact that, okay, I was expecting an all-out war here, and I didn't get it. So, so in all, I went into this expecting it to be up there with the first two. And like I said, I put those up on the highest pedestal. I mean, each one of those got the bomb. This one just kind of fell short of those two. Quite a lot, but again, it's just not what I was expecting. And maybe when I buy it on Blu-ray, I'll maybe enjoy the movie a little bit more. I'm not sure. But for now, I am giving War for the Planet of the Apes a 4 out of 5. Enjoyable film, really cool, great CG. I mean, the CG is like stuff I've never seen. It looks like a real chimpanzee because the eyes that they captured Andy Serkis' eyes, and they're so human. Even Woody Harrelson said that, who also is great in the film too. He does a really great job as the Colonel, don't get me wrong. He was really, really good in the film. Everybody in this movie is good. It just really was not up there, I don't think, with the first two. And I could sit here and say, oh, hey, it's a great film, go see it, blah, 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 but then I would be lying to me, be lying to you. And it is a good film. It's an entertaining film. And I have no idea if this is the wrap-up, if there's going to be another one. And if there is another one, I'm curious to see where they're going to take it. I have no clue at this point. But I would like for it to continue. I think a lot of people would like for it to continue. And I can't really say where I think it's going to go without telling you, obviously, how the movie ends, so I can't talk about it. So if you're on the fence, or if you're an Apes fan, you know what? Go see it. You'll enjoy it. I enjoyed it. It's not the best film of the summer, I don't think, anyway. A lot of great performances in it. Really solid story. It just really kind of didn't go where it should have went. At least I don't think so. Maybe if the title of it would have been a little different, or if the trailers actually showed sort of what the movie was really about, you know, you could have gone into it sort of expecting this rather than what it was. I know it sounds very confusing, but I'm trying to dodge all the spoilers here. So if you did see it, let me know in the comments section, and see if you liked it better than I did, as possible. And if you like this review, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell up there, so when I upload more ape videos, if there are any, or any other videos on here, or movies, or anything else, it'll notify you and come up and go bing, or something like that, to let you know that I've done my job and uploaded a new video. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoyed the movie. If you have seen it, like I said, let me know, and I shall see you next time on...
I think you're crazy.
Want a second opinion?
You're also lazy.
Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas.